I want you to just close your eyes for a second and picture this. It's July 1982. You're in Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Not for a concert, though.
No, definitely not. It's hot, the air is thick, and you are surrounded by just acres of white satin and black tuxedos.
It's an incredible image.
It is. You're looking at 2,075 couples. That's over 4,000 people, all getting married at the exact same moment. It's the image, the mass wedding.
The one that basically defined the Unification Church or the Moonies for like an entire generation.
Right. And for most people, that's it. You see the picture, think that's weird, and you move on. But for this deep dive, we're doing something different. We're actually going to skip the wedding itself.
We are. Because the really interesting part, the why behind it all, came the next morning.
We have the transcript right here. Myung Moon speaks to the 2,100 couples, July 2nd, 1982. And I have to say, reading this, it was not what I was expecting at all.
No, it's not a wedding toast. It's a mission briefing. He's laying out this incredibly dense internal logic for why this event was, and he claims this, more important than the moon landing.
Which is a huge claim. So let's get into it. The speech starts, and he's really aware of the media, isn't he?
Oh, completely. He mentions the newspapers, the TV cameras. He tells the couples, you have shocked the world. But for him, it's not just about fame. It's about disrupting history itself.
He talks about the impact in two ways, and this was the first thing that really stopped me. He calls it horizontal and vertical.
Yeah, this is key to his whole worldview.
Yeah.
The horizontal is what everyone saw. The couples, the arena, the streets of New York, the physical world.
Okay.
But the vertical impact, he argues, was way, way bigger and totally invisible.
Right, because he claims that for every couple there, millions of ancestors were also there in the spirit world.
Millions. And it's not just that they're there, it's how they're arranged. He uses this really specific visual. He says, before the wedding, the ancestors were all standing back to back.
Meaning they were enemies. They wouldn't even look at each other.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. 1982, World War II is still very much in the living memory. The Cold War is happening. And Moon deliberately paired people from enemy nations. Germans with Americans.
Japanese with Americans.
Right. So the logic is, if you marry a German and an American in the physical world,
you force their ancestors in the spirit world to turn around.
You do. They go from back to face. He says they're applauding. These aren't romantic unions to him. They're spiritual peace treaties.
It's like ghost diplomacy.
That's a great way to put it. Yes. You fix the conflict here on the horizontal plane, and it automatically fixes centuries of conflict on the vertical plane.
He even calls them a wedding alumni association.
Good.
He makes this argument that their bond is stronger than a college network because it's built on healing these huge historical divides.
It's a new global identity that's supposed to be more important than your nationality.
But, let's be real. The rest of the world wasn't thinking about ghost diplomacy. The word on everyone's lips was brainwashing.
Oh, 100%. That was the media narrative. Mind control. And Moon, he goes right at it in the speech. He actually holds up a copy of the New York Post.
I love that, using a prop.
He does. And the headline apparently said something like, maybe they're not brainwashed, but heart-washed.
And he loves it.
He totally embraces it. He says, I like that word heart-wash very much. To him, it's a dramatic reframing.
It's a clever pivot because brainwashed is an insult, but heart-washed sounds almost like a cleansing.
That's exactly how he sells it. Your hearts were dirty from, selfish American culture, and this process has scrubbed them clean.
And he uses that to just launch this really brutal critique of Western marriage at the time.
He looks around and sees what he calls contract marriages. People living together to test it out, then leaving when it's hard.
Which to him is the ultimate weakness. It's love based on convenience.
And his model is the complete opposite. It's based on total inconvenience. He even points out that couple, the American groom and the Japanese bride.
Yeah, the tall, blonde, blue-eyed guy.
And the short Japanese bride. And he just puts it out there. They can't speak to each other. They're using sign language.
Can you imagine you're married for eternity to save the cosmos and you're playing charades to ask where the bathroom is?
But that's the point for him. Romantic marriage fails because it's about how the other person makes you feel. This, he says, is a revolution based on faith. You commit to the mission, and the love grows out of that struggle.
You take the self right out of the equation.
Exactly. You're a new mankind, as he puts it. A new species.
Which brings us to the structure of this new species. This is the part of the speech where I had to just stop and laugh a little. The words he uses, we've all heard Moony,
which was, a slur used by the media.
But he takes it and he builds this whole hierarchy. He starts with Moony, then he introduces Sunny, and then Kingy.
I know. It sounds like something out of a Saturday morning cartoon. But the logic he builds around them is actually pretty serious.
Okay, so break it down for us. What's a Moony versus a Sunny?
It's all about physics. The moon reflects light, right? It doesn't make its own. So he says, until now, you were Moonies. You were just reflecting my light. You were dependent.
But the wedding is a graduation.
It is. You graduate to being a sunny, like the sun. You're now a light-giving object. The couple becomes its own little spiritual power plant.
Okay, that tracks. I get that. But then, the Kingy. What on earth is the difference between a Sunny and a Kingy?
Penetration power.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's his phrase, penetration power. He says even the sun has limits. It creates shadows. A wall can block it. But a Kingy's light, it penetrates all surfaces. No barriers.
Okay, and how do you get this super penetrating light? Because his instructions are very, very specific and very gritty.
Yeah, this is where it gets dark. You don't become a Kingy sitting in a nice church. You have to go into the dungeons.
He lists them. Prostitution rings, the mafia, drug dens.
He's talking about New York City in 1982, which was not today's New York City. It was a place he saw as a literal dungeon. And he challenges them. He asks the wives, would you like for your husband to become a Kingy? He has to go through those alleys.
Wow. And he talks about being put in a giant furnace.
It's this metaphor of being melted down and refined. Your marriage isn't a safe harbor. It's a deployment.
It's such an aggressive, almost masculine vision of holiness. Usually you think of spirituality as like retreating from the world.
Right. Purity through separation.
But he's saying the exact opposite. True holiness is wading into the filth and transforming it.
Which ties directly into his whole theology of the fall of man. He sees America in 1982 as Sodom and Gomorrah, just collapsing from moral decay. And this little army of couples is the last line of defense.
So if they're soldiers, how are they supposed to treat each other in the bunker? There's that one phrase he uses that I can't get out of my head.
The love injection.
The love injection. It's such a weird phrase.
It is. He says marriage is a boosting factor. And he makes them do this exercise right there in the hall.
He does. He makes them stand up, hold hands, look eyeball to eyeball.
And promise to be a super love injector for each other.
It's so awkward to even picture. But again, these people are strangers. He's forcing the intimacy.
He's engineering it. But look at how he defines the partnership. The left leg, right leg theory.
Right. The man is the right leg, woman is the left.
Which sounds kind of patriarchal, but his explanation is purely functional. He says to run fast, both legs have to be equally strong. If one is limping, you go nowhere.
So it's about equality for the sake of the mission?
Exactly. If the wife is weak, the husband can't go fight in the dungeons. And he gives this incredible visual. A wife comes home, totally covered with dust from working in the ghetto.
And what does the husband do?
He describes it as a sacred scene. The husband literally bathes her, scrubs the dirt off, and then, and this is the key part, they switch roles the next day.
There's so much focus on dirt and cleaning, heart washing, the furnace, now scrubbing each other. He seems obsessed with contamination.
Because that is the absolute core of his theology. The fall of man wasn't about an apple. He teaches it was illicit love, a sexual sin that corrupted the entire human bloodline.
So original sin is like a genetic trait.
It's in the lineage. That's why this wedding is so important. It's a spiritual genetic modification. You're rooting out the old bad bloodline and planting a new true one.
You're starting a true family.
A true family, free from the original stain.
But he warns them it's not a done deal. He uses that gardening metaphor I thought was really powerful. He says they've been grafted.
Yes. And a graft is delicate. You attach a new branch to an old rootstock. It needs time to heal and connect. Moon tells them if they're lazy, the graft will fail, and the old rotten nature will just take over again.
And the consequence for failure is, well, it's very bureaucratic. He starts talking about the afterlife like it's a border crossing. He talks about a passport.
The immigration service.
The spiritual immigration service.
It's amazing, isn't it? He literally says, very definitely, the immigration service will stop you. The spirit world isn't some vague, happy cloud. It's a kingdom with checkpoints.
And the wedding is your visa application.
Pretty much. But the sacrificial life, going into the dungeons, that's what gets the final stamp of approval in your passport.
It just drives home that this is a system. It's not just be nice. It's follow these steps, complete the paperwork, get the stamp.
It's an engineered salvation. which can be very appealing if you want a clear map of how the universe works.
So when you step back, you've got 4,000 people, they're exhausted, married to strangers, and he's telling them, you just fixed World War II.
You're now Sonnies. You're aspiring kingies.
You're the cleanup crew for New York City's moral garbage. And your marriage is literally designed to purify the human genome.
I mean, talk about a sense of purpose. It reframes every single marital problem. Who cares if you're fighting about money when your real job is saving humanity from Satan?
It's very high-stakes matrimony. It turns your home into a forward operating base in a cosmic war.
It does. It's the ultimate us against the world narrative.
Yeah.
You're not just spouses, you're comrades.
You know, the thing I'm going to be mulling over on the drive home is that kingy idea.
The light that penetrates walls.
Yeah. Because, you know, our normal idea of being good or holy is to protect yourself from bad things. You build walls, you stay away from the dark alleys.
You preserve your light by hiding it under a bushel.
Right. But his definition of the absolute highest level of spirit is the person who can go into the darkest, most corrupt places and not just survive, but transform them.
It's a very aggressive kind of purity. If your light is real, it ought to work in the dungeon.
It's a really provocative idea, whether you agree with the theology or not, a love injection into the darkness, whether the darkness wants it or not.
And for those 2,075 couples, that wasn't just a metaphor. That was now their job description.
Well, that's our deep dive into the 1982 mass wedding speech. Thanks so much for listening. We will see you on the next one.
Keep the light on.